Hi everyone, I'm Linda with Life on Summerhill and welcome to my dining room. Today I will be sharing with you how to create a flower arrangement on your chandelier. This is a great project for special events like parties, birthdays, weddings, bridal showers, or any event. It's also fun just to style your chandelier with some flowers to have around as a beautiful decoration for your home. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I like to do before I start working on this project is I figure out how many bundles of flowers I will need. Since we are doing baby's breath, this is an easy project to figure out. I basically buy one bundle per spindle here. So I have a total of 6, so I got 6 bundles. I would rather have too much than not enough. I also, if you make it too thin, it just doesn't look as pretty. It looks better if it's fluffier, and as it sits on your chandelier, gravity takes hold and it gets smaller and thinner. So start out fluffier and keep in mind it's going to come down and get a little bit thinner. The next step in the process is I like to cover my table with a sheet or an old tablecloth or something to catch all the flower droppings as I work. So let's cover our table. This is an old sheet that I use for other projects that I'm just going to put over the table. Now, another thing I like to do is I like to pull all my chairs out because I'm actually going to stand on them as I'm working. So I've already pulled those out for us. And then I'm going to open this up and sit it on the table. Okay, so my next step is I will take and make sure there's no rubber bands on here. I'll snip that off. And then I take and I pull apart the flower stem. So here's one stem here. So I'll pull it apart like so and lay it on the table. And then I'll pull the next one and lay it on the table, and so on. So basically I'm separating these so that when I put them on the chandelier, it's easier to work with them. Okay, so for the next part, this is when I get on my chair up here, and basically you're not gonna trim them yet. You're going to sit a bundle in here, and what I like to do is you have to think about gravity. So you're going to sit the heaviest end right on a spindle. And this helps to hold it in place. So you're going to keep repeating that, moving in the same direction. So I'm going to turn this and I'm going to sit this right on the spindle, the heaviest part. So you'll notice that all these are hanging off, but that's okay. We're going to trim those at the end. Another thing you need to think about is when you sit it on here, make sure the other end is sitting on a spindle on the end. This particular one has a lot of extra, so I'm going to even try to sit it on the next spindle. So it has so much variety in it. And you have to just keep playing until you get it the way you think it should be. So there's 4 bundles in this package that I got from the grocery store. Okay, so I wanted to take a minute to show you that I've laid some of them out. I've pulled them out, I pulled them apart, and I laid them on the table. And this will allow me to just work as I go on the chandelier. So I do have 2 more bundles left over here that I didn't unpackage just in case. But for now, I've got everything on the table except for those 2. Now I'm going to continue to work on the putting the flowers up here. So what I'm going to do is grab this one, and I was working in this direction, so I'm going to keep working in this direction, putting the heaviest part on a spindle and letting the stem go that way. So again, here's one here that didn't get pulled apart all the way. So I wanted to show you what I do with pull it, because you don't want to pull so hard that all the petals fall off. So you just want to gently like take your fingers in here and just thread it apart as you go. And some will fall off, you can't help it. So it's okay, there's plenty of petals on here. But this helps you see how you can pull it apart. Now, this one is also a good example because it has a stem way down here at the bottom, and it has a lot going on at the top. So what I'll do is I will take it and I will snip that one off just to lighten the load a little bit. And then I turn my chandelier around and I sit this one there. Now, this is where you've got to, you're back at the beginning. So what you're gonna do is lift this guy up and thread him under those petals. So he's gonna sit on top of those petals like so. Okay, so far we've got a lot of branches hanging off here, and the petals sitting on each spindle. So I'm going to start with the next part. The next part, I'm going to sit a bundle here in the middle, and we're going to try that. So here's another one that has a piece way down here at the bottom that I could pull off, so to lighten the load just a little bit. So I'm going to cut that off. Okay, so for this part, you're going to take each bundle and you're going to sit it here in the center of each spindle. So the heaviest part is going to go right here, and this is where you're going to kind of work with the stems under this guy. So bundle here, stems go under, bundle here, stems go under. So I'll zoom it in so you can see closer. So we're going to take this bundle and we're going to lift this one up like so, slide him under, and he's going to go over that spindle over there, and then we're going to lift this up and put it here. And then what you do is you take and you use the other branch to kind of hold it in place. You're basically like weaving it together in here. So now let's take another one and let's go around here to this side. And again, we're going to go under that one. Then we're going to keep going. Make sure I've got, and then we're going to go under this one over here until we get this bundle right in the middle, like so. And we're going to use some of these other ones to tie it in. And sometimes I have to come back over here and pick this up, because you don't want to mess up what you've already done on this side. So there's a lot of tweaking back and forth that you're going to be doing And you just have to do this. It takes patience. You have to do it slowly, a little at a time. And then you just start weaving these branches together down here to help hold it into place. Okay, and then go back over here. See how these fell out? So you just have to weave them back into place. So we're starting to get a real good feel for this. Okay, it's real important while you're doing this to step down after you've kind of filled in a lot of it. Step down and look at it from the floor, because everybody's going to be seeing it from that level. Nobody's going to be up here on the top. So let's step down, let's give it a look, and then we'll come right back. Okay, so as you can see, we have a lot of underneath. We have a lot of greenery shown, but not a lot of petals. So I'm probably going to start working underneath now and see if I can get some of it, some of the flowers to show underneath. Also, remember, as gravity occurs, it's going to pull down also. So see how high it is right now? That's going to come down even lower. So we may even want to add a little bit more to the top. Okay, so we're going to work on filling in some under the bottom. And what I like to do is I'll take a bundle and I'll get some smaller pieces off of the bundle to do this part. So just snip some smaller pieces like so. And then you take that and you work it in under the underside. So this is the one time I do both directions. So I might push them this way and this way. And then again, I'll take and weave them up in here just so they can grab something and hold on. Like that. So see how it filled in there? Okay, and then we'll grab another one and go over on this side and start filling in. And I'll take another one, like so. So what you're going to do is you're going to thread it from the bottom. And here's a good spot that doesn't have anything. So we're going to thread this guy through here so we can fill in this bottom piece like so. Now I like to go ahead and take and snip some of these guys out of the way when I start working underneath. So that helps me see that whole area there. So you're basically working in a bundle in between two spindles here and here. So now you just work with that particular set, weaving it together to kind of lock it in and tighten it. Okay, so we're gonna trim some of these to get them out of the way. I see a little spot right there that needs some, so we're gonna push him up in there. And I feel like on the top, it looks a little skimpy, so we're gonna put some guys up in that area. Okay, we're gonna trim off some more of these big ones. So I think we have most of the cuttings, the branches off, so we're just going to keep filling in between. I'm down to my last bundle of flowers and I'm really just filling in any spots. I'm trying to make in between one light to the next very similar. Like if it's shaped like this and this, then I try to make the next one have that shape. If it's more of a low top and a low bottom, I try to make each of them like that. So what I generally do is I take a bundle like this and I just hold it in my hand and I snip it a couple of inches down from the bottom. And this allows me to have some shorter stems to fill in. And then I just pull it apart gently like I did before, and I lay it on the table. So then I look at that, I pick one as my example. So this is kind of one example. I come over here, this one is much fuller than this one, so we definitely need some here. And it looks like all the flowers are going that way, so I'm gonna push them in, going the opposite direction and filling in some of these holes in here. So you just weave it in there and tuck it in until you get it the way you want. And then you can go, this one looks good, this one looks good, I think that looks good, I think we're good. Another thing is, if you have a lot of flowers right underneath this, then you want to make sure all of them are that way, and this one is not. So I'm going to take a more full bundle like this, and I'm going to fill it in. And the way I do that is I wrap it around the bottom, so like that. So now it's more underneath it, just like that one is. I think we're good. We're all finished. So now all you need to do is just clean up the table underneath. If you have any extra flowers left over, put them in a vase, put them in another room. You can even put it on the table where you're serving food. It'll just add more. Repetition is a good design element, and it adds to your beautiful decoration. So I'm going to throw on a beautiful tablecloth, and then we'll be finished. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day.